We're going to look at 5 different interesting cases, 5 different fact scenarios for us to take a look at, analyze, and for you to get my opinion on. Let's get into the first video.
I'm gonna keep it real with you.
I would be freaking out, man. Lawsuit waiting to happen. Hey, is there the potential to sue the company that produces a machine of this nature? Well, the answer is, it depends. Was the product made in a negligent fashion? Did it cause injury to a person? Was the type of injury that it did cause, should that have been anticipated by the company that produced the product? So those are all issues that you have to take into consideration with regards to whether or not you can bring an action of this nature. And then the other thing that you have to understand is that you can't just have negligence or gross negligence or a product's liability issue. You also have to have significant damages. Like, for example, this young lady here, she probably couldn't bring an action because although she was struggling for a while and she panicked for a little while, what is that worth? Maybe a few $1,000s? For a product's liability case, you have to have significant damages because it's going to cost 6 figures to get it into court. So your damage model must be significant also. Okay, this looks like some salad or something. Okay, let's see what we got here.
So I get a salad from Whole Foods salad bar. And as I'm eating my salad, I have this funny taste in my mouth, flavor, not texture or anything. It tasted almost like chemicals. And I'm just eating my salad and I'm staring in my salad bowl and I see legs just moving and moving quickly. And I had to rub my eyes because I just knew there was no way that there was actually something in my salad. And lo and behold, it was a stink bug in my salad releasing its toxins. And that's what the flavor was. I was eating stink bug farts.
Does she have an action against Whole Foods? Was Whole Foods negligence in this situation? So my answer to that would be yes. She does have an action against Whole Foods. This is not a case that I would take, unfortunately, because again, does she have an action against Whole Foods? Yes. Was there negligence? Yes. Are there some measure of damages? Yes. The problem is the measure of damages is not that significant. Should she be entitled to something? Yes. What I would recommend that she do, contact Whole Foods, go see the manager, get a refund, get a store credit. But in terms of litigation, this is not a case that would be a part of my docket. Like, comment, and subscribe, please. We want to hear what you have to say, what you think. And we can only hear that and do those things if you leave a comment below.
It's a literal piece of wood that she just bit into, that they battered the fuck up and fried and sauce. It's a literal, pull that shit back up. It's a literal block of wood, y'all. It's wood.
So if there is a significant injury or damage in terms of biting into that wood that did cause damage to a palate, to your teeth, causing some kind of dental surgery, losing a teeth, damaging your mouth, bleeding of that nature, that is something that would be actionable. And we have taken cases like that and recovered thousands of dollars on behalf of certain plaintiffs that suffered from this type of an injury.
Proof that they just cleaned our room barely and locked us in on our balcony.
We're locked on the fucking
I just need to record that just so yep. Alright, so we're still stuck on the balcony. The door is not open. We got locked in by our cleaning guy after reporting him again today. Not saying that's why it happened, but that is the course of events. Yep. And can't call customer service because I'm in Mexico. So my mom had to call for us.
Okay, so what we're talking about is an issue, a case involving potential false imprisonment, where due to the negligence of some other party, you are now not free to move around your property or someone else's property because they made a mistake or they did something wrong. So do they have an action here? I don't know, okay? It depends. Were they locked away in this area for 10 minutes? Or was it for 10 hours? Or was it for 10 days? You have to look and see the totality of the circumstances to see how inconvenient was it. Did this person do it with intent? What did it cost these people with regards to other trips or excursions or things of that nature? The more severe, the more damages there are, the more there is a potential for those persons who have been in prison to have an action. If it's minor, probably not. If it's significant, you may have a case.
In 2019, a woman fell asleep during her flight, and when she woke up, found all of the other passengers were gone. And also the pilot was gone, and the flight crew, and the plane was dark and cold. It had been just a brief flight. She was flying from Quebec City to Toronto, but she dozed off during the flight, and when she woke up, it was after midnight, and the plane was on the ground and locked up. She tried to call a friend, but her phone was out of battery. It immediately died. She tried to charge it, but there was no power to the plane. Eventually, she got into the cockpit, found a flashlight, and by the light of that flashlight, figured out how to open the main door, only to find there was a 50-foot drop to the tarmac. And all of this was happening because the flight crew just didn't notice her sleeping in her seat. They got everybody else off the plane once they landed in Toronto. Then the flight crew got off. Then the pilot parked the plane and locked it up and went home. The woman, her name is Tiffany Adams, eventually was able to shine the flashlight out of a window and get the attention of a baggage handler who finally came to her rescue. Air Canada fully admitted this is what happened, and the only details we know about the aftermath is that they said they were working with her to make it up to her.
What an interesting case. But that is a case I would absolutely sign. Air Canada has a problem here. While I understand that she fell asleep and maybe she was on notice for X period of time, the flight attendants had a duty to make sure that the plane was emptied properly. So let's say the flight attendants totally missed her and they left. Totally get it. But guess what? There's a cleaning crew that comes in after every flight to make sure that things are adequately cleaned, are safe, and taken care of. So you're telling me that the flight crew, the pilots, the cleaning crew, everybody missed this young lady that was sleeping and locked up the plane, didn't do anything? This should not have happened. She has a false imprisonment claim. They were clearly negligent. Air Canada is going to have to settle this case. This should not have happened to this young lady. And yes, she should have woken up. Yes, she probably has to accept some responsibility there, but the airline should have made sure she safely got off the plane in a timely fashion. And this incident should never have happened, not to this level. They're going to pay through the nose to get this one done. Trust me on that. Those were 5 different crazy examples of how I evaluate and look through different cases. Now, as we all know, the facts of a case and the situation is totally based on those circumstances, what happened and who was at fault. If you have an interesting case that you'd want for us to talk about, discuss, go through, share it with us. Comment below. We'd love to know what you think. I'm attorney Darren Miller, and this is DLAW.